அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். Hi all to all the SIPMAA viewers. For the first time viewers, SIPMAA stands for Supply Chain Integration of People Managers Affirming Alliance. And you are well aware about this initiative, what we are doing. This is the Voice of HR. I hope you all would have enjoyed the Voice of HR, the previous ones, which we are done with the 4 HR experienced people. And it is the 5th in the row. Today also we are going to meet a very interesting personality. More than HR, he is experienced in CSR as well as he's an author. He's a multifaceted person basically. He has 20 plus years of experience in HR, IR, ER and CSR. He has worked in Motherson Group, then he moved on to TVS Supply Chain, then Novatech, after that ZF, and now he is the head HR for TVS Infra. And he's a good friend of mine as well. He is a board member in multiple universities, well-reputed universities, and then he's a governing council member as well in most of the forums. It's none other than Dr. Irudhayaraj. Vanakkam, sir.
Vanakkam.
Thanks for giving us the time for this particular interview. And I hope you would have viewed the other interviews which we have done in this Voice of HR initiative. I think I already given enough introduction, but however, it's always better to hear from the horse's mouth. Why can't you give a more introduction about yourself, and which was really interesting about the CSR initiative as well, and other attributes, please?
Definitely. And thanks a lot for being invited me for the SIPMAA Voice of HR. And this is a great opportunity for me also. And as well as whenever we want to interact with the people, there must be some kind of medium. So that medium today, it has happened because of you. So thanks to you and Saranya, and you have made it this day. And it's a great day for me also because whatever we have, our thought process and everything, that has to be shared to everybody. When it is shared, and then that has different dimensions, and then people will also start to have kind of understanding over that. So this Voice of HR and related to this SIPMAA is really a great platform for everybody, and particularly for the HR forum. It is not only for HR forum, but whoever is coming for professional life, and this can be the kind of referral for them.
Sure.
So I believe in that. So myself, we should not say myself. I am Dr. Mariajesu Irudhayaraj. You can call me Irudhaya. I am head HR right now with the TVS group, and previously, as Sir said, and then I was in multiple MNCs and other companies and ITs also. And apart from that, I want to mention, so we should not be fixed on with one career aspect, because that we are multiple persons, multiple personalities we have. So with that, we have to engage ourselves. So for that, I'm a media person, and I'm a radio jockey in All India Radio, that is FM Rainbow, and I'm author, and then I have written 3 books, and one more I am going to release it. I'm a chief editor in Nammalgu, that is a reputed magazine in Tamil Nadu. And I'm a board of study members, and then I'm a governing body members also in some of the colleges, reputed colleges. Why I'm telling, it's not boasting oneself, but at the same time, whenever you have a certain stamina and capability, and that should be explored in a different platform. So with that only, I'm telling that everybody is having a unique talent, and everybody is expecting to expose that talent to themselves and as well as to the society. I have created a platform for me, and then I have exposed, and the same I am exposing right now to you also. So with that short introduction, let me go through that, my own sharing and my experience that will really helpful for you and for your career growth.
Thank you so much for a brief introduction, sir. When you said that you also been a radio jockey, like, no, that's quite interesting.
I was not, I am.
Oh, super. So now you are still continuing as a radio.
Still continue. This is a passion, and then when I entered Chennai, that was the first job I had it.
Oh, is it?
Because I was a secretary in fine arts during my college days. So I want to keep in that touch, and then that is my, see, normally we call it as a being a lively person and being a exemplary persons. So both things I will always connect with that, because that I always say that the profession and the passion should be a parallel line. When these parallel line are alive always, and you will be the happiest person, and you will make the circumstances also happy. So with that only, I keep that in my mind. Still now I am practicing that.
That's a good thing to hear, sir. Now, I myself a follower of your initiative, HR உன்னை கூப்பிடுகிறார்.
Yes.
So you used to, release it on a weekly basis on every Wednesday, which I used to read. Now, that idea came from this radio jockey thing, or like, what was the, you know, motive behind that particular initiative, HR உன்னை கூப்பிடுகிறார்? Like, no, I've read it. Means like you discussed multiple facets of the HR, but where it all started.
Of course, that I must clarify that I have a love towards reading. I read lot many books during my college days, during my school days itself. That was created in me, and then I attended in many this one orations and other competitions also. For that, that reading was really helping me. And then I realized during my college time itself. So we have three aspects for learning learning aspects. Okay, I love reading because that is really a core platform for me to create my energy, to make myself as alive always. See, because that I want to insist to everybody, the reading will give you three aspects in your life, not only for your personal life and professional, for everything. First one, hearing, listening, and assimilation. So once again, repeat for everybody: hearing, listening, and assimilation. Hearing, just like that, we hear and then leave that place. Listening, it has some kind of intake. Whether it will have an impact or not, we don't know. But the assimilation will take place only when you have a deep reading with the book, not with the reels or anything. In the reels or other aspects towards the Kindle or the cell phone devices, you can have some kind of distraction. But when you have a reading, when you love to read some of the books, the assimilation process will happen. That assimilation process assign your body and clear your thought process, and you can be the clear persons for whatever you want to have it in your life. So that is my experience. I had it. So with that only, it was inculcated towards my thought process. So based on that only, it was derivated.
Perfect. So I think from that point only, you would have also got this idea of writing the books. I mean, authoring the 3 books, you said, and the 4th is in progress. Nice to know about that.
And happy to know that that book where I studied my UG, that's a book of syllabus right now to the school.
That's so nice.
So that's a happy moment.
Pleasure to hear about that, sir. And you are speaking about like writing, reading, again being a board member in multiple universities, governing council member in multiple committees. Again you are working in a company for a full-time employee. How did you manage all these things? Like, this time management, how important is it for a HR professional?
Actually, this is a critical question that will be asked by everybody to me. Not only to me, for you also, because you are a exemplary person and you are creating a much more transformation to many students and then many professionals also that I want to register right now. So for me also, whenever you have a passion, whenever you have a love towards that, and you will find out the time. Whenever you just like that, keep in that mind, and then if you're not giving any importance to that particular aspect or particular elements, and you will find out lot many reasons. You will find out in the sense, not you, just I'm telling that. So we'll be finding out a lot many reasons. So when you have a really towards a thirst towards that, and you will find out the opportunities, and you will create a wonders towards that. So normally I do that. Normally I insist to my team members also as an individual, I can do well, you can do well, but together only we can do wonders. So in that togetherness, in the sense, for my book also, the HR1 Kupra, I was consulting with my wife, and then she only brought that topic. HR1 Kupra, that can be the topic, biggest catch for all the professionals, she said. And she is a deputy collector right now in the Tamil Nadu government. Yeah.
Nice to know, sir. Now, as I was asking you about the time management and also what you're explaining, when a person has the passion towards something, then he will not mind, or like you'll plan the time very well.
No, in that I want to register one thing. So whenever I do some of the work, you also know that that's called a simple method, Pomodoro technique. Pomodoro technique in the sense, whatever you want to have, whatever you want to achieve, some of the task to your life, maybe personal or professional. So you must have a concentrated thought process for 25 minutes. Then take 20 seconds of rest. Rest in the sense, just to give your mind free for that 20 seconds. Then again, concentrate on something, and then you redo the work till you complete the task. You follow this technique, and that will have a real impact for that. So I have practiced and practicing also. So wherever I go, I give it to the students also, this technique. And recently, last week, I was I was taking a training program to the newly recruited GST and income tax officers in Tamil Nadu Police Academy. I used to take a training program to them. So in that also I insisted, and happily to know that many of the person they are following it.
Okay.
So many of us might have read during our college days, or we have read somewhere else. But whether we are practicing it or not, that's a question. When you are practicing, and that definitely will have a huge impact, and you will also realize lot many changes in your life.
Okay. So earlier days, psychologists used to say when somebody listens, especially listens to a particular training program or like to anything, focused concentration will be only for 40 minutes. Then they should take a break.
Now the span of attention is reduced, sir. It is 1 minute or 2 minutes only. But I want all it's that listening capacity will improve only by reading.
Okay, that's what I want to ask you as the next question. Now, from your talk, I can understand that has got reduced to 25 minutes. But as it goes, especially with this Gen Z kids, what is your experience like? Now, how did you handle them? I'm sure that in your company also you will have a mix of Gen Z kids as well as millennials. Right now, in this particular aspect, there will be a tangent difference between the millennials as well as the Gen Z kids. Now, do you feel any cultural change, or like have you created any adaptation technology for this strategy, not technology, adaptation strategy for this millennials to adjust with the Gen Z kids, or like have you trained the Gen Z kids to adapt to the millennials, like how it works?
Definitely, I have to answer for this question, and that's the right question. Also, you have made it. So normally, right now, as I said in between our conversation, the span of attention is reduced. Now it is only 1 minute or 2 minutes. And because of that, when we are more concentrating on the reels and other things, it's not exceeding not more than 30 seconds or not more than 1 minute. So it's all our brain is nowadays it is reduced for that, and it is customized for that. So we need to come out of that. We can have it. I'm also watching reels and everything, but not into that. When you are deeply into that, and definitely your mind and mind program will be changed. So coming back to that, particularly at this scenario, the students they must more focus on behavior, because that nowadays you can find out lot many students with good knowledge, good skill, but only aspect in the behavioral skills is lacking. That I am facing it whenever we take students from colleges or other things, and we are facing more behavioral changes. Because see, when we were a students, we like in the sense that everybody here in this room, our this one aspirations and our expectations was little different. But nowadays everything is around them. They are thinking that everything's for them only. So in that, the behavioral changes happened. So normally we call it the competency is a combination of knowledge, skill, and behavior. So behavior in the sense, the three one and the third one that we need to segregate into three aspects: A, B, C, attitude, behavior, and character. So attitude is a inbuilt, and behavior is a circumstances and situations make. Final one, character. So nowadays that students, that particularly the freshers, they are not worried about any kind of behavioral changes or attitude or character. They focus on only knowledge and skill. So these, the third one, that competence in the combination of these things must be focused on that. So based on that only, that approaches will be there. So nowadays that particularly this the present scenario people, their approaches are literally different. Example, one of my friends, and then he called me. He said, one of my friends, the son, he's looking for a job. I asked him to call me, and then I don't know his number. The first time he was calling, I was in a meeting. but he was calling continuously for more than 10 things. He not even thinks that he may be busy with something. Rather, he can send a message, sir, so and so, I'm trying. I hope so that you may be busy in something. Let me know your free time and then call back. No, he was calling continuously for more than 10 times. And then with an irritated mind, I picked up the phone and then I was asking, you are saying some of the name. I said, I know 5 persons in that name to whom you are mentioning. And he was immediately responding to me. He said, he is very close to you, but you are not saying anything to that. And then he was created little uncomfortness with me and then with my friends. So these are all the approaches are really lacking. When the approaches are really coming up in the sense when they are focusing on these three aspects: attitude, behavior, and character. So that because nowadays they are more concentrating on this one the other devices, they are they are in the lacking mode of reading. That reading only will give a kind of assimilation. When the assimilation process happens, and definitely they can be the good persons. When they are more concentrated in hearing and listening, and they cannot be the very good person, and they cannot be the very good approachable person and approaching person also. So that is my invention. I have
I totally understand your perspective, sir. So that's what, like, now when we see these Gen Z kids, we could not able to summarize that, like, now whether it is selfishness or like they are more focused to achieve that go-getter attitude. No, whether others are free or not, I'm least for that. But I want to get
it's harder to say that they are not a go getter right now, go hitter.
So when things are evolving like this, there are multiple companies who practices multiple HR practices as well as, like, HR strategies. Now, do you think that we have to benchmark all these HR practices, which will be easy for this next generation people when they come into, or otherwise, even for the HR who is handling these two different tangent, people, especially the millennials as well as the Gen Z. Now, the Gen Alpha also will come into picture. Now, do you think this benchmarking assessment of these HR practices are required or not?
I think as a one aspect that I can say it should be uniform, but at the other aspect that every person they have their own perspective and they have their own capabilities. So see example for media, the ultimate aim is to give a to pass the news whatever and wherever happens to the public, but they have a different channels. So like that, the benchmarking, whichever we call it the so-called name of some KPMC or Deloitte or some other thing, they have their own methodology, their own ideology, their own framework also. So with that, we cannot make any uniformity towards that. It all depends with the person because as a human, process and machinery, we can frame out only one thing, but as a human, it has to be dealt case to case basis one thing. So for that, the framework will be can be the this one stabilized one, but that can be analyzed with the person to person. So that will have a change. So surely that we cannot have any kind of uniformity, but we are expecting that should be a uniform.
So the framework will give you a roadmap.
Correct.
From there, they have to
You have to create and you have
create their own unique model. Apart from that, when while talking, you told that no, you have done the doctorate, PhD in CSR, and I think you were the second in the row in the country, if I'm not wrong. So why did you pick up that particular topic? Like how it has really helped you in your professional career?
see actually that my UG BSc chemistry, and after that,
Oh, basic chemistry.
yeah, after that only I realized that it's not my cup of tea. Then I moved MA HRM, and then I'm a fond of a reader, and I used to have lot many capabilities. So with that, there was some kind of inspiration towards to me by my professor, by my family, and everybody. So based on that only, I picked up, and then I had a chance also. I had a very good guide, so I thought I can complete a PhD also. When I had a conversation with my colleagues and then known HR kind of mentors, whatever I have, I had a relationship with them. They only advised to have it in CSR. My second nature is usually with the social activities and then social forums and everywhere. I'm being united towards that. So with that thought process only, I selected CSR, and I also I'm also being an advisor for many NGOs,
Oh,
and then other, even some of the organizations also. They will be asking the framework for CSR, and I have created. Even when I was working with the ZF, and previously they donated the entire fund to the PM CARE and then CM fund. I'm not saying that should not give it, but at the same time, when they have something towards have it for the society and have it for the stakeholders improvement, and they must focus on that. So I created 4 pillars in that: education, environment, sustainability, and women empowerment.
okay.
So with that, we worked, and even I included CER also, corporate environmental responsibility. So that's also nowadays it is very much needed for a sustainability process. So I included, and then we had many awards anywhere, and then we became the benchmark for creating the framework for CSR activities that I created
Superb.
with a passion.
Super. Obviously, that's a buzzword, passion. So this SIPMA, the main reason of creating this particular entity itself to connect the bridge or like act as a bridge between the knowledge seeker and also a person who has more knowledge and share it with the knowledge seeker. So would you like to be a part of mentorship or like guideship program where you can start mentoring the students?
See, we were all connected because of that interest only. So I'm very much interested towards that. So whenever we have, see, as a Irudhayaraj, as an individual person, whatever I have, it should not be within me only. So because of that only, I have written 3 books. So whatever I have a thought process clarity and then some kind of giving back to the society, I have to record it somewhere else. So that, so you are a very good thinker and you are a very good action person also. So whenever you speak, that will have some kind of impact within your short circuit only. But whenever you have recorded something somewhere else, and that will be the impactful for the future people also, the future generations also. So for that only I have written, and then this also I feel this could be the great platform to connect with the people. So you rightly said, it's not a fresher, knowledge seeker. So that's a correct phenomenal. You have made it, and that's great word also. I'm using it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for showing your interest. And it's quite interesting to discuss with you multiple things on the HR vertical, but I'd also understand that there's a paucity of time. The last question, like, no, what would be your suggestion, especially for the budding HR professionals, how they can be successful in the career?
Yeah, my simple giveaway points to the persons who wants to achieve and who wants to become a great achiever in their life. So they must have some kind of, there are several models are there, but the Kirkpatrick analysis, Kirkpatrick model is a very vital one. They start with reaction, learning, behavior, and result. So once again, repeat, in the Kirkpatrick analysis model, it starts with reaction, learning, behavior, and result. So whenever we want to have some changes or improvement in our life, and definitely our inner mind will be always fighting with us, whether it is needed, whether you need it, whether you are capable. These many questions will come. That's called reaction. So when you are responding properly towards that, and you will move to the next set of learning aspect. So reaction, learning, when these 2 things are aligned very well, and then your behavior will be changed and you can produce a lot many results. So that's the takeaway and the giveaway points to all the viewers. So with that, I can conclude, I hope so. And if you have any questions furthermore, I am ready to and happy to answer for that.
Superb, sir. That's so nice to hear the quick practice model. This terminology has been heard when during my MBA days. So thanks for reconnecting it in the current scenario. Thank you for your time and your, surplus knowledge, I would say, to the viewers as well as the people who are watching this particular thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. And then one more thing. So my humble request to everybody, and particularly to the students and even professional also, have a passion in reading. So that will create a great impact, and that will enrich our happiness also. So that is my humble request to everybody. Please have it, and wish you all the best. And thank you so much for the SIPMA, and particularly Dr. Dhanasekhar and Saranya. So they are having passion towards the society, and they want to give it back to the society also. So we must be ready for utilizing that. I think you will be ready and you should be ready. So with that, I conclude and thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Hi, viewers. I think it was a quite interesting session with Dr. Irudhayaraj. He has shared us the experience, what he had, especially with the HR, ER, IR, and CSR initiatives, what he has taken in his career. So with this, we come to the end of the session. Stay tuned with us till the next session. Tata, bye-bye from Dhanashekhar. Thank you.